A pen with love.
I have two close friends at school, Suresh and Raju. Suresh lives in a big house, which is at some distance away from mine. Raju lives in a slum not far away from our school. Suresh, Raju, and I are in the same class. During the recess period, we have lunch together, and after school, we play together. Sometimes we study together too. One day, I happened to reach school a little late. I saw a group of boys in the yard in front of the building. Suresh and Raju were in the group. Suresh had bought a new pen. It was new and shiny. It looked like it cost a lot. Raju wanted to try out the new pen. Suresh happily gave it to him and asked him to write something with it. Raju was looking for a piece of paper when a boy playing in the yard came running and bumped into Raju. Raju accidentally dropped the pen. The pen broke into two. Suresh was wild with anger. Crying loudly, he hit Raju. He shouted at Raju that Raju should buy him a pen that looked exactly like the broken one. Suresh told Raju that he should bring it to school the next day. Suresh then walked away. He did not speak to Raju for the rest of the day. I had to do something about this. I went to Suresh's house that evening. I spoke to him for a long time. I tried to make him understand that it was not Raju's fault. Raju did not break the pen on purpose. It was an accident. How could you beat up Raju for this? I asked. Raju's father was a mechanic in a factory that made cloth. His job was to keep the big spinning machines in good condition. Raju's family had just enough money to eat. In spite of that, Raju's father worked hard to send Raju to school. How could Raju buy an expensive pen to replace the one he had accidentally dropped? Was it fair to ask him to buy a new one? Suresh felt very sorry about what he had done. He said he should not have behaved the way he did with Raju. He had shouted at Raju and hit him for something that was not his fault at all. The next morning, Suresh waited for Raju to reach school. He ran to Raju and hugged him. He told Raju he was very sorry. He wanted Raju to be his friend again. He told Raju that Raju's friendship was more important to him than a pen which could be easily replaced.
Suresh, Raju and I were in the same class. During the recess period, we had lunch together, and after school we played together. Sometimes we studied together too. One day, I happened to reach school a little late. I saw Suresh and Raju with a group of boys. Suresh gave the new shiny pen to Raju. When Raju was looking for a piece of paper, suddenly a boy playing in the yard came running and bumped into Raju. Raju accidentally dropped the pen. The new pen broke into two. Suresh hit Raju. He shouted at Raju and wanted him to buy a pen that looked exactly like the broken one. Suresh then walked away. I went to Suresh's house that evening. I spoke to him for a long time. I tried to make him understand that it was not Raju's fault. It was an accident. Suresh felt very sorry about what he had done. The next morning, Suresh waited for Raju to reach school. He ran towards Raju and hugged him. He told Raju he was very sorry. He wanted Raju to be his friend again.
Let's listen. Identifying sounds. Here's a poem on sounds that we hear. Listen carefully and complete the poem. Sounds.
I like the sound of many things, of tinkling streams, a bird that sings, of falling raindrops, buzzing bees, of crunching snow, wind in trees. I like the sound of happy play, of echoes soft and far away, of music gay or sweet and slow, of trains and cars that swiftly go. to me than all these others are. I like the sound September brings when once again the school bell rings.